everyone, it's Maisie here from Devils United, and I'm joined here with Jason, King Tony, and Stephen. How are we all, everybody?
Yeah, we're cool.
Yeah,
I'm good. Not bad, thanks.
Yeah, so I thought I'd do a match reaction for Man United versus Southampton. Jason, what did you think of the game?
I'm very, very disappointed. It's a game we should have took the 3 points, but we never. And we shouldn't have started Fred or Martial at all. I would have played Van de Beek myself.
Tony, what did you think of the game?
Yeah, disappointing as well, I think. I mean, you should have battered Southampton, to be honest with you. I mean, they were there for the taking. I didn't think they're that great, but, still, you got a point. You got to settle for that, haven't you? So.
Yeah, definitely. And Stephen, what did you think of the game?
Very surprised. I was expecting a lot better from Manchester United. The squad you've got, the team you have, despite with Fred and that and on in the pitch as well, you should be battering the hell out of Southampton. That is one of the shocks. I think the shocks of the weekend, to be honest.
Yeah, definitely. I was a bit disappointed with the game itself. I was expecting a lot more, considering how
after Leeds.
Yeah, and especially with how weak Southampton have gone. Like, they've lost Danny Ings, they've lost Vestergaard as well. You expect them to be a much weaker squad now. I was actually surprised we even came out with that 1 point, because we had Martial on the pitch, who I was very disappointed with. There was Fred, who done the own goal. There was Matic, who I was disappointed with. Maguire and Lindelof, both of them even disappointed me as well. I feel like they could have done a lot more better. There was plenty of opportunities for corners, and we didn't take them opportunities neither.
Yeah, exactly. Disappointing. I've got Maguire in my fantasy team, so I was pretty pissed off with him, to be honest. To be quite honest, today he was useless, wasn't he? Today, not like his England form. He was great in the Euros, wasn't he? He was immense, but United, he was shit.
Yeah, we've got Jordan here as well. Hey, Jordan, how are you?
Oh, Jordan.
What's up, guys?
How did you find the Man United versus Southampton game?
Well, it was a good game, and that's a good goal by Mason Greenwood as well.
That's coming from a Liverpool fan.
I can't wait to see Mason Greenwood, though. I wish he played in that striker position, though, rather than Martial. Seriously, don't know why he started.
That was a thunderbolt he scored with, wasn't it, Greenwood? It was a real thunderbolt. It was such a thunderbolt, that goal, wasn't it? How did it go in? That's what I want to know. Oh, God.
For anyone who watched my last week's match reaction, I just asked like 3 questions. So I thought for this week I might switch it up a little bit, and I thought I'd do player ratings. We'll do the player ratings for all the starting 11, and then we will do ratings for the subs as well. So we'll get that sorted.
I should have sent a link to you, didn't I?
Yeah, you've done that already.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, just getting that up now. That should. Oh, yeah, great. Can you all see it?
Yep.
Yeah. Definitely.
Perfect. Okay, so it'll be from 1 being extremely poor all the way to being 10 man of the match. So we'll start first with
the whole team won for the whole team. How about
that? Tony, don't say that.
I will.
Oh my God.
Well, you could say it's about a bit like us yesterday as well, to be honest.
Maisie, that one's not quite right from the one that I saved. Do you wanna?
That's the one you sent me.
Yeah, for some reason the one it's the same link, but what I've loaded up, it's got the 0 at the bottom. So I don't know if you wanted to, if I could share the one I'm looking at.
Go on
just
then.
in case you want to put anyone in trash. I'll sort it out. I'll get it sorted for you. I don't know why it's done that. Should have saved it. Bloody thing. But there you go. Just in case you want to put anyone in the trash bin.
Oh,
my
not
God.
There you go, sir. Yeah,
Absolutely hilarious. Absolutely hilarious, aren't you?
Oh no.
Yeah. So the first person we'll start from, we'll do David De Gea. Jason, what would you rate David De Gea out of 10?
I'll say 7.
A 7.
He still don't catch it, though, does he?
Reason
He
I
never
said
catches
7
it.
because
Whoa.
he kept us in the game.
Sorry,
Like he saved some brilliant shots at the end, like that Adam Armstrong one that could have been the goal,
Yeah,
but
that's a good
David
point.
saved.
I don't like how he punches it all the time, though. That's not good, is it?
No.
Every time he punches it rather than catching it.
Yeah, you get a little bit worried,
Yeah.
don't you, to be on the safe side.
Yeah, he played better than most players, though.
Well, true, yeah.
Yeah.
And everyone in the comments as well, just say what you would rate the players out of 0 to 10. What would you rate David De Gea out of 10 as well, Jordan?
David, well, I can't wait for me. He's good. He's a good goalkeeper. Well, not give him 7 because right now, really.
Yeah, so we'll put him. Yeah, so we'll put him at 7 then. He made a couple of good saves in there. It was just obviously that goal, wasn't it?
Yeah, I was going to say that myself.
Yeah, so the next player we'll do Wan-Bissaka. What would you rate Wan-Bissaka out of 0 to 10, Tony?
He had an okay game, I suppose. I'd say about 4, 5, say. Something like that. 4. No, sorry, 4. Sorry. Give him 4.
And what would you rate him out of 10, Stephen?
I'd rate him out of, I'd say about 5 to 6. It was not great. He's not at his best today at all. I was expecting a lot better from him.
Yeah. I'd probably go with a 5 as well, to be honest, just because with Wan-Bissaka he was a little bit good going forward. He did offer it a little bit there, but
does good tackles at times because he's got the pace as well. So
he just wasn't. It wasn't his best game, really, was it?
No.
So yeah, I'd put him as a 5 as well. So we'll put him as a 5 there.
I think that's the one.
Let's hope it is.
If it isn't, I do apologise, but I'm trying. I'm trying my best here.
Yes. So Lindelof. What would you say for Lindelof, Jason? What would you rate him out of 0 out of 10?
I'll say about 5.
What about you, Tony? What would you rate Lindelof out of 10?
Yeah, about 5 as well.
And you, Stephen?
I was going to say about 4, to be honest. They weren't great defensively, to be honest. Especially against a Southampton team that's supposed to be like struggling to stay in the league. That's we all tipped them off to be.
To be honest, I'd probably go with a 4 with Lindelof. I don't know. It just didn't really strike me as a player who really impressed me whatsoever. Especially when you watch the Leeds game last game and he done that assist, and then you see him this game, and it's like
he's on better for Sweden actually.
But
yeah,
it just didn't do good for me at all.
I was swearing, so I put fucking Ferran on.
Why was I don't get why you're not playing Varane.
Yeah, why aren't you?
Yeah, why were you playing Varane? I don't get that.
Yeah, I was the same. I was sitting on the edge of my chair.
Put him as a 4 for now. And then
you bought him, play the bloody bloke, for fuck's sake.
And then what will happen is, once we do all the defence, we'll check the comments, see what everybody else thinks as well. And if, for
Yeah.
example, we get a bit more, so if they think Lindelof should deserve a 5, so if we get more 5 comments, we'll put him up to a 5. So then it's fair for everybody then.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah. Maguire. Tony, what would you put Maguire out of 0 to 10?
Yeah, thanks for that, Maisie. 2.
2.
He was poor. He was really poor today. Got caught a lot and everything. So I'm sorry, he's got to have a 2.
Stephen, what would you rate Maguire out of 10 today?
I could put him as the score I got on game week 2, which is 1. But I think that might be a little bit harsh, so I'll go for 2 or 3. Very poor. I was expecting a lot better from Maguire, especially with the Euros that he's had, and also the start of the season he had against Leeds as well. So it does raise some questions, and that's why I would want Raphael Varane in there as soon as possible. And
you can understand Varane didn't start today, but just because obviously he's only came into the training last week, but he should have come in at least for a sub. He could have come in at least as a sub.
I think against Southampton, you wouldn't think you needed him, would you?
No, exactly. You'd think that Maguire and Lindelof would be good enough, especially knowing how we played against Leeds. So it's just crazy how we can be brilliant in one game and then the next game we can just play so poorly, especially in the first half.
Yeah.
Jason, what would you put Maguire?
I'd say 3 myself. He's very poor.
3's generous, I think. You're a United fan, so don't blame me.
To be honest, I'd probably go with a 3. It was Maguire's worst game in quite a while. With Maguire as well, I do really like him as a centre back, but it just really wasn't his game today whatsoever. No. For the last one for the defence, Luke Shaw. Stephen, what would you put for Luke Shaw?
Luke Shaw, I would have given about a 5 or 6. I don't think he was too bad. Still trying to make things happen. It wasn't his best game today, but the quality. You can see the quality is there. I just don't think the game. He had a good game. It just wasn't his greatest game today. He was a bit off for me.
What about you, Jason? What would you rate Luke Shaw?
I'd say 6. He played not too bad. I feel the others let him down in defence, but he still showed signs of pressing and crossing and all that.
Not his Euros form, though, was it? Like he done in the Euros. He was brilliant in the Euros.
He was good, though, amazing last season as well, wasn't he, Luke Shaw? It was just quite disappointing to see today. And what about you, Tony? What would you rate Luke Shaw out of 10 today?
I'll give him a 5.
A 5.
It was okay, not too bad.
Yeah, for me, I probably will give Luke Shaw maybe a 4, just because he looks very tired, very fatigued. He didn't really have much to offer like he normally has to offer.
So what were we going for? 5, 4, 6?
Put him as a 5 for now, and then we'll see what everybody else says.
Okay.
Yeah, so we'll go through the comments just to see what everybody else is rated to. Okay. Big up talk. Thanks for tuning in.
Big up talk.
Big up talk.
My boy.
Hi, match reviewer. Thank you as well for tuning in today. A big up, James.
Big up, James.
Completely agree. Maybe.
It is.
Big up, Box.
Completely agree. Very disappointing game. Big up to Nathan as well. I agree. Nathan. Very frustrating game. And you've got Michael, who said Martial and Fred should have not been near the United team again. I agree. It was a very awful game, and I hope I don't see Martial for a very long time now. Anyone who does have me on Twitter will know that I did rant about Martial today. It wasn't very good.
I'll bring up Jade. Yeah,
Big up,
Big
Jade.
up to
Big up,
Jade.
Jade.
And for anyone who has tuned in, go and subscribe to Jade's YouTube channel. She does content on Liverpool, PSG, Juventus. She does quite a few contents. So it'd be
I'll have
really
to go
good
on
to
there.
see. Yes.
Yeah, check that out.
Talk, Martial, Fred not good enough. Donny should have been started. Mason up front
That's
with
what I
Sancho on the
said.
right.
That's what I said.
Yeah, he talks right there. He's right.
Yeah,
100%.
thank you, Tom. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Big
If
up
you're
to
not
you.
playing well, you should at least work hard. Martial doesn't.
Yeah,
And that was
that's
one
right.
of my biggest critiques today. Martial is just so lazy on the ball. When he doesn't have the ball, he doesn't work to get the ball back. And when he does have the ball, he's just very slow. I don't know what Ollie was really thinking playing him, in my opinion. He just didn't really do it for me. Big up here as well
Big
to
up,
Reece.
Reece.
Big
Thanks
up,
for
Reece.
tuning in. And then we will see here what everybody thinks. And I just want to say big up to Static as well. Thank you
Big
for
up,
tuning in.
Static.
So,
He's pissed off, man. He is vexed. He sent me a message of that static. I told you statistic before we came on. Yeah. Oh, life. He was repeating that so many times. He was fuming on a voice message. Oh.
Nathan thinks David De Gea should be a 7. Reece thinks he's an 8. He did make some good saves. I completely agree there. But it was just that goal. It should have been saved, shouldn't it? No offense to Lingard, but how is he fit to come on when he's just had COVID? Plus, he's off soon.
right.
Yet Sancho and Varane is still benched. That is a very good point.
Yeah.
Very good point.
Sancho should have well and truly been started by now. Static 4 out of 5 for everybody. It's a little bit harsh, that, but
maybe true.
Michael also thinks De Gea should be 8. If it wasn't for him, we would have lost the game, which is also a good point because he did make some very good saves today.
Yeah.
What do you think? Do you think we should leave De Gea at 7, or do you think we should go to an 8 for him then? What are you guys thinking?
Sorry, Steve. Go on, mate.
I'll go for an 8 if everyone else will feel it.
And what are you thinking, Tony?
I wouldn't actually go for 8. I'll go for maybe 7 or 6 because I don't like him punching it all the time. That's the only thing I don't like.
Okay, we'll leave him as a 7 then for now, and if there's any other comments, we'll just change it. Reece thinks Wan-Bissaka should have been a 3. Yeah, he was very poor, wasn't he, Wan-Bissaka?
Yeah,
it just wasn't his
probably.
game whatsoever. Nathan, Wan-Bissaka offered little going forward, 6. That is a bit high, I thought, but
bit generous, yeah.
Lindelof 4, Maguire 4, do us both. Nathan thinks Lindelof 6, played a bit better than Maguire. Yeah, he did play better than Maguire, but to be fair, both of them was absolutely terrible. Reece said Shaw was poor as well today. Shaw. I think it was one of Shaw's worst game in quite a long time. If you think the same as well.
Yeah, I agree.
Maguire 4, his worst game in a while. I agree. I think it was his worst game. He is a 3, isn't he, at the moment? Yeah. Reece thinks Luke Shaw should be a 3 as well. He's currently at a 5. Nathan also thinks Shaw should be a 5 too. Okay. Box thinks Shaw should be a 4. Okay, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, different views there, aren't there? Different
everyone has
ratings,
different
really.
views, yeah. So we'll leave that as it is for now then, and we'll see on how everything is. We'll go to the next section, which is the midfield, and we will start with Matic. Jason, what would you want to rate him?
2. He was completely shit. I would have played Donny. Donny van der Beek except for him.
Yeah.
I can't believe Van der Beek hasn't had no chances at all. He's a much better player. He'd have created more chances.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think, Stephen? What would you rate Matic?
Yeah, the static match, mate, is this is stiff as a plank of wood. It's 2.
Yeah.
It's 2,
Yeah.
mate. It's as stiff as a plank of wood, honestly.
And what
it's
about you, Tony? What would you rate him?
I concur with all them with that. Just
I
2.
completely agree with all of you, to be honest. I don't even know how Matic started today. He needs one of them players where he needs a fast person next to him because he's quite slow. His legs aren't with it anymore. So if Pogba was playing in the midfield or Donny started with him, it wouldn't have looked nowhere near as bad. But when you've got Fred there as well, who is also so he likes to make a lot of mistakes, it doesn't work out whatsoever. And both of them together did not play well. I hated them both together. I don't want to see it again. It's just as bad as Nick Fred, never again.
Maisie, can I? I think Talk's asking me for the link. Is that all right? Can I send it to me?
Yeah, no problem. I'll send Talk the link now as well.
I'm doing it just now. I'm doing it just now.
Oh, you sending it? Okay, not a problem. Whilst we do that, we will next go to Fred. What would you rate Fred out of 10, Tony?
0. I can do 0, can't I?
You can do 0, yes.
Well, -0. Go that.
I got a better one here, guys. Watch this. Right.
No.
Right. I'm just gonna for Fred FC only. I know a few people I don't like who are Fred FC, so there you go. Fred FC only. There you go.
You put a few Arsenal players in that.
Yeah, you could do. You could put Arteta in that as well.
We should put him as personally. We should put Arsenal players at the very bottom because.
Well, that's it. If you want Fred FC gone, we might as well take him because he's about our level. Crap.
His squad look 100 times better than what it is.
Putting with Xhaka in midfield, that really would be shit, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Can we all just agree he goes in that level then?
Just put Fred
minus 100.
That's what Fred FC stands
That's
for.
That's more like it.
Fred FC. There you
go. We'll go to Bruno now. What would you rate Bruno out of 10, Tony? I'll put you on the spot first. I know you like it.
Sorry, did you say me? Yeah.
You.
Right. Well, actually, I don't think he turned up today. To be honest, I didn't have his usual good game. Like last week against Leeds and all that. He was brilliant then, wasn't he? But I'd say I'd give him be a generous 6 maybe. Because he's not up to his usual standard, but I'll give him a 6 anyway.
What would you rate him as well, Jason?
5. He was not himself today. Like he could have took the game with Pogba like last week, but they both were like lost in this game.
Yeah.
And what about you, Stephen?
I'm gonna say about a 5 or a 4. To be honest, I expect better from Bruno, a lot better from him. So Bruno,
let's go 5. Actually, I'm gonna go 5 and all.
I was gonna go more 4 because I expect so much better from a player like Bruno.
I'd probably say 5 as well. He wasn't our worst player on the pitch, but he certainly wasn't our best player on the pitch neither. So I would definitely give him a 5.
By the way, I thought that was a foul. That one on him there. And I don't think it should have been a free kick.
I agree. It did look like it was a foul, and how the goal still stood, it's just unbelievable. Someone actually did mention that in the comments too about that free kick about Bruno. So Box did mention it. What did you think of the Southampton goal? Foul on Fernandes. My initial thought was, get up, Bruno, for fuck's sake.
Yeah. He does go over easy, but I think it was a foul.
But that's the problem when you do it so many times, and I've seen many times where Bruno has he sort of breathed on him and he's like fallen on the floor like he's been shot by a sniper. And over time, the referees are just gonna go, yeah, you're just faking that. Even if you're and if you actually probably been taken out, you just think you're faking it, and then you won't get decisions. And it's a shame because he doesn't need to do that for his game because he's already so brilliant as a player. He doesn't need that in his game. So
that's right,
yeah, it's a shame on his part that he doesn't do that.
I did want to mention this, though.
Sorry, Maisie. Sorry.
I did want to mention this, or what Reece said about Pogba getting 5 assists in 2 games. It's absolutely an incredible achievement. I can't believe how well he's opened up to the opening games.
Apparently, to someone that's that's expected.
But unexpected for someone like Jack Grealish. So
yeah,
my hands are held up.
Yeah, he scored though, didn't he?
Not me.
What a wonder goal he scored, Grealish. Bounced off of him, didn't it? Into the net, yeah. Bloody awesome goal that was, wasn't
it? Did Fernandes get fouled before the free kick? He was so upset he got the yellow card. Yeah. It was because he was complaining so much to the ref, but you had Southampton players going up to the ref's face as well, and they didn't even get a yellow card. And it should be working for both ways, in my opinion. If Bruno's going to get a yellow card for that reason, then if a Southampton player goes up, like Ward-Prowse or Stevens, I think he was one of them who did go up to the ref and arguing for quite a while over the Greenwood situation when Greenwood got elbowed in his chin. He should also get booked because
he fouled a lot. He fouled a lot, Stevens. Yeah,
he did, and he didn't get booked. So I do also think that was incorrect, and he should have well and truly been booked, in my opinion, too.
Yep. Yeah, I agree.
We'll have a see what people have said in the comments for the ratings for the midfielders. Matic 3, 2. He was terrible. Matic was doing some ridiculous skill at the edge of his own box in the second half and depossessed. Matic 4, and I'm being slightly generous. No need for 2 sitters, especially after Southampton made a defensive sub at half time.
You just quickly go to Talk's comment because I think you should just send in the link.
Where's Talk's comment? Is that the bottom?
It's right at the bottom. Yeah, that one. Yeah, I'll send you a link to it if you're there. He's there today. He's upset with Scotland.
I agree with Talk there as well. Agree with Talk.
Reece also thinks Matic should have been a 3. What did we put him? Did we put him as a 2, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what people think. 2s, 3s, 4s. It's quite varied, isn't it? But we know he's in the bottom half. Static has said good show. Thanks very much.
He's brilliant, Maisie. You're awesome as usual.
Thanks for that, Tony, and thank you as well for coming on.
No worries, anytime.
Nathan thinks Fred should have been a 2, but that was obviously, I think he put it in before Fred FC came through. Reece has said Fred 4, not a good first half by usual standards, but had a better second half. I won't tolerate Fred slander. You know what? I'm actually going to make this comment, and I do agree with Reece. I do feel like every time there is something what's happening, I do feel like Fred is always the one who does get scapegoated in most games. Even if, for example, he may have done one mistake in the entire game, he still gets slandered for it. Whereas you'd see another player who'd made plenty of mistakes, he wouldn't get slandered at all. And it's not really fair. That's my opinion. I don't think it's fair because I don't think Fred is a bad player when you do look at it. He just made some silly mistakes when it's like today, outside the box. He was bad today, but I feel, myself, I do agree with Reece. There is so much slander with Fred.
Yeah.
We've got Talk here. Hi, Talk. How are you?
Hey, Talk.
Yeah,
good.
How you doing, man?
Good. Yeah, not bad, folks.
You alright, Talk, man? You alright?
Yeah, not bad.
So I've
not
been
bad.
messaging you all day, by the way, mate. I didn't know if you weren't replying, so I was just wondering if there was anything wrong.
No, it's cool, mate. It's cool. Yeah. Today's game, mate. I mean, like I said, Ollie's got to take the blame for today because you can't upset why you upset the squad like that. Why you got to wonder why. You got to ask the question: why is Bruno all of a sudden being moody like that? Because he's not happy.
Yeah.
It's quite clear he's not happy with what's going on in the team.
Yeah.
Fred. I mean, I said it during the watch along. Give him away. Put him outside Old Trafford with a sign. Please take this player off our hands. Because he's fucking shit. He's the worst player.
If you call out Arteta, maybe you would take him off you. You take him.
He's even worse than Anderson. He's even worse
than Bedrock. Send him back to Bedrock, I say.
Right?
Martial
the same. Not good enough. He's not good enough. He's had time after time chances. He ain't good enough. He ain't moving for the ball. He ain't showing for the ball. He ain't dropping deep to the midfield.
No, he's going to come into training. Sorry, he's going to come into training for Carrington. Like they're going to leave it, lock the doors outside Carrington, out of Carrington's training ground. He's going to see him and knock on the door. Wilma.
Listen, and you know what? The thing is, if I see Fred or Matt or Martial on the next team sheet, then I am going to be probably firmly on the Ollie out because
Send Fred.
Quite clear to me that he is. Sorry, 1 second. It's quite clear to me that Ollie is not learning from the mistakes that he keeps making. We made the mistakes like this last season where we lost points. This now is surely this is not just a slap in the face. It's a kick in the bollocks to him and saying, "Wake up, wake up! You cannot be putting these players in this team. They're not good enough. You've got Mason fucking Greenwood. He's not a right winger. You've got a right winger we just paid 70 million for, and he's sat on the fucking bench. What are you doing? Are you stupid?
Yeah, you're right there, mate.
It's fucking ridiculous. 100%. Alex Ferguson sat in the stand. You can see the look on his face. You read him like a book thinking, Ollie, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Send Fred and Martial to Phil Jones FC. Nowhere to be seen.
Because I'll tell you something now. We made the mistakes again. If he starts this again, we ain't getting anywhere near that league. We're going to be fighting, scrapping our hearts out just for top 4 again. And that's not good with the money that's been spent.
And that's not Manchester United.
No, it ain't.
Manchester United are winning trophies, and
Mazer,
if we don't,
you tell me, you right, Martial and Fred. Do they get? We're now. Well, let's go back to Fergie's reign. Three seasons before Fergie's finished. Do any of them 2 players get into Alex Ferguson's team?
No
way. He would throw a fucking football boot at their head.
Exactly.
Oh, he did with Beckham,
Them 2 would be. You won't see them again. They'll be in the fucking playing for the reserves. Yes, exactly. First window transfer window, January gone. Seen a bit. You're not good enough. You've had time after time after time to prove yourself that you're good enough and that you can learn from mistakes. But you don't. Fred, he couldn't make a 2-yard fucking pass. He passed it out for a throw-in. Like,
welcome to my world.
Yeah, mate. I was shouting at teeth. I was like, "Bring fucking Van de Beek on, you useless cunt."
Yeah. Donny does need to play. Donny does need to play, though. Donny does need to play. We should have tried to do a Matic and a Donny combination like we did in the Everton friendly because it worked. Why not try it against Southampton? Make the risk against Southampton.
Yeah. I was going off about that all day.
See, the thing with Southampton is the way they set up. It was quite clear that you know what, Hasselhouten, whatever his fucking name is. No, he knew. You put them players high in our faces. It causes problems because we hold on to like Arsenal, we hold on to the ball far too long. Time and time again, there's opportunities where if you have Donny van de Beek on a pitch, Donny van de Beek can see those pockets of space and he will make moves for it. You can then
exactly. Thank you, Talk. Flip, agree with you.
Welcome to my world.
It's just so annoying because I've been at like the transfer window, this pre-season, so excited. Then the Leeds game, I'm like, wow, man, this is it. And then that, it's like being when you talk about waking up from a bad dream. That wasn't being woken up. That was being like a bucket of cold water over your fucking head.
It's like the army officer goes next to your bedside.
Yeah, the cold showers wear an ice bath.
It's just, I mean, I'm pissed off about it, but I can't imagine. I can't imagine how he's like. He's going to drop those two players. I just don't see it because I think Ollie's becoming too. I think Ollie is in the position now where he's too safe in his position. He's too safe in his position, which equals, oh, that's all right. I've got time here. It's all right. We can try this and we can try that. No, you can't. You try it once, it doesn't work. Don't fucking try it again. Do not try that again. Just don't do it.
The thing is, he's got better players than Arsenal, so why can't he do it with the players he's got? He's got some world-class players, Pogba and whatever. He's got all that. Why? How come he can't do it?
You've got basically the complete team. I don't see This is what I'm saying. I said that if you had a better manager, like saying like if you had, Conte's available in a minute, right? And Adam came on our stream and going on about Conte. If you brought Conte in, right, which I hope you don't, because I wish I could sack Arteta. But that ain't
happening, mate. That ain't happening.
Yeah, I know it's not happening, but everyone loves to dream. But if you got him in, would you be worried about like with this certain situation? No, you wouldn't. The thing is, I do think Man United. The reason people are put off by Man United is because they're worried about Ollie making these mistakes all the time. And that's what everyone's sort of saying. That's why they're more favouring Man City and Chelsea. Even with Man City, who only got a clear number 9, they're still fancying over Man United because Ollie makes these mistakes.
Yeah.
So, Talk, what are you thinking about these ratings so far? Do you agree with them? Is there anything you'd put higher or lower?
I think it's a bit unfair on Matic because I thought Matic had a pretty decent game. If you go back and watch it, just look at his positioning when we were in a defensive position, which is exactly what he's there to do. He did actually have a decent game, in my opinion. Maguire.
Automatic, isn't it?
Well, yeah, but I mean, Maguire, I'd give Maguire like maybe a 5. The other ones, probably there or thereabouts.
You think we're too harsh on him then, Talk, some of them?
On Matic, yeah. I mean, the thing is, Matic, he's the only real number 6 that we've got. But then when you've got Fred, just doing his like headless chicken impression, then Matic just then feels that he has to go out and try and start getting further out to try and close things down. When he shouldn't be doing that. He should be the last line of defense between the midfield and then 2 at the back. Slowing things. He's there to be a block, to slow things down, to give them something to think about, and be a recycler of the ball. We don't want to see Fred Matic getting too far forward, having to try and get in players' faces, because then if they get past him, where are we then? You've just got the 2 centre backs to worry about. So
I do always say though, I do wish Matic was a couple of years younger and we'd got him in his prime, because it'd honestly be so amazing, and we wouldn't have these issues. We wouldn't have these issues with defensive midfield. We'd have him.
He was good at Chelsea, wasn't he?
Yeah, quality. We'll see what everyone rated about Bruno as well. Bruno a 5, Bruno a 5 as well. So Reece does think though that Bruno it would be a 3 just because he wasn't good enough. So we'll probably say leave him for now at a 3 then. I mean, a 5 and Bruno. Yeah.
He didn't turn up at the Euros either, did he? He was shit in that as well for Portugal.
I think he started the first game and then he got benched, didn't he, for the rest of the games? Yeah. Yeah, so we'll start in with our up front more players. We'll start with Pogba. Talk, what would you put Pogba?
Pogba, I thought Pogba was fantastic today. I thought he was.
At times he was.
He identified that we was. I think, you know what? Because listen, you're playing football. You know what? You're there in the midfield. You're looking at your front man in a 4-2-3-1, and he ain't doing it. He's not.
Yeah.
He's not showing for the ball. He's lazy. He gets a chance that he totally fluffs by like just being so weak and uninterested. So Pogba takes it upon himself. You watch towards the end of the game. Where's Pogba? Trying his best to get in the box all the time, trying to get to the box, trying to make something happen. So Pogba's hunger is there. His desire is there. Martial is an embarrassment. So I'm going to give Pogba at least an 8.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So you agree with an 8 as well, then, Tony?
Yeah.
And what do you think?
Sorry, yeah.
What did you think? An 8?
Yeah.
What do you think, Stephen? What would you rate Pogba?
Yeah, I'd agree with him. I agree too.
And you, Steve, and you, Jason?
Yeah, I agree. I'll put him as an 8. Him and Greenwood probably the 2 best players on the pitch.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying seeing Pogba so far. I actually do hope his momentum does keep up because, like you say, when Pogba's in a bit of a mood, the team just dampens, doesn't it? So I just hope Pogba just stays as how he is right now because he's really he's like that good role model on the pitch. And when Pogba plays like this, it's just absolutely beautiful to see, to be honest.
Just wish he'd be more consistent, really. You know, he's a bit inconsistent at times. Sorry, Tom.
It's right. Pogba, he can be inconsistent, but when you move as a team, when you move the ball quickly as a team, and you're playing it forward, it creates a kind of, it's like a false energy. You know, you get buoyed by it as a player. You get this kind of like boost because things are happening quickly, and you see these forward passes all the time. It G's you up, but when you've got players holding onto the ball for too long, running into danger zones, and then either being dispossessed or making a bad pass, it's frustrating. And once frustration sets in, it's very hard to get rid of that frustration when you're being pressed, like they were pressing us. But again, I said in that watch along and the post match, we should have been playing in front of them. Or they should have identified what they were going to do and said, listen, you're going to have to move the ball quick today, lads, and you're going to have to get in them spaces that they're vacating when they're trying to press you. Don't be holding onto the ball, trying to look for something. You've got to release. As soon as you get that ball, release it and move forward, not backwards, forward. That way, you take up the spaces that they're leaving behind, and that way then you break up their shape because they ain't just going to stay like on our goal side of us while we're trying to attack them. They're going to have to chase back. So you're going to drag their shape apart if you do that. But we weren't doing that. This is where Ollie is failing massively. This is where Amonde points his finger all the time last season. And I was sort of maybe denying it a little bit, but he's right because patterns of play. This is where we want to see the pattern of play against a team like this, where you say, right, listen, you know how they're going to play. Or if you don't, then what have you been doing in the job? If you don't know how Southampton are going to set up against you, right? It's quite clear that that's what they were going to do because there were no way they were going to just sit back and part the bus because then they weren't going to do that. So this is where Ollie now he really has to pull his socks, and I mean pull them fucking socks right up because if he doesn't, we're going to be falling way behind the race. And again, I don't want to see us, like scrapping for top 4. It's just not again. Not after a lot what we've spent and what we've brought in.
I've happily come out and said, if, for example, we don't win a trophy, we're not close that gap for the top 2 at least. I'm have to beat Ollie out because he's been backed in the board. He's got quality players who have a world class and potentially to be world class. What more does he need? is not clearly working out for him. He's got that set piece coach who
Wait, don't use that the amount of times you come out with it.
That was a good one, mate. That nice set piece.
He's got that coach as well. And what more?
Do you know what? Can I just make a point?
Don't please.
I mean, we're talking about Varane, right? And that's people saying, "Oh, match fit and blah fit and this fit and that fit." He's absolute cack. Look at that. Lukaku. He's been in the club like less time than fucking Varane has at Man United as a player being signed. Lukaku goes straight in, gets started, and he plays, scores a goal.
Yeah.
So it's nonsense. Ollie's been far too soft and far too concerned with the players' kind of like, I'm going to say welfare. I mean, like, give him time to settle in. Let's not rush things and blah, blah, blah. Bollocks. The guy's come here for a challenge. He's made that quite clear. Get him in there. Just throw him in. You're telling me that Raphael Varane cannot play 90 minutes against Southampton? Come on.
Of course he can.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
I think Stephen was trying to forget about Lukaku, weren't you, mate? Earlier on.
We'll go to Greenwood now, rating Greenwood. What would you rate him, Tony, out of 10?
Yeah, I agree, actually. Uzi said he played well. Was it you, Chris, said he had a good game? Greenwood. Yeah, sorry, Jason. Sorry, Chris. Sorry, mate. You had a good game. Sorry about that.
Yeah, him and Pogba were my two man in matches for United.
I agree with you with that, because I think he done well. I mean, okay, I know his goal weren't fantastic. It didn't hit it too well, but it went in. That's the main thing, isn't it? So,
yeah.
And he did do some good things in the game. So I would probably say around 8 as well for him.
Stephen, what would you rate Greenwood?
Yeah, I'd say the same. 8.
And you, Jason, what would you rate Greenwood?
8. Yeah, 8.
And what about you, Tark?
Mason gets a 10 for me because he's my boy. I'll adopt him. I love Mason Greenwood. I love Mason Greenwood. It's you know what? It's just unfair. It's unfair to keep putting him out in that position that he's just. It's not. You're talking about a striker. A striker's game, a mentality is, look. They look for us. They're looking for the space. They're looking for a run. They're timing their run. This doesn't. It's not like some strikers do it naturally. You very, very few and far between that do it naturally. A lot of strikers have to work hard at it. And at Mason's progression right now, this is where he is having to work hard at his timing, working his runs, learning off Cavani. So why are you stifling that by sticking him out on the right wing? Makes no sense. It's just totally bonkers. But yeah, for me, I would give Mason a 10 all day just because I love him and he's brilliant.
Do you think he should be an England player at all? Do you think he should be an England player as well in the England team? Or
Mason Greenwood?
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Yeah.
Because I tell you what, however this season goes for us, and if Ollie grows a pair and decides, you know what, if I really want to go for this title this year or any other kind of competition, or then he's got to keep Mason Greenwood up front between him and Cavani. Martial has got to play left if he's going to play him at all. You play Martial.
I wouldn't even play him. Well,
yeah. He's not. He's not earning the right. We said today about earning the right.
I would play Elanga. I'll play Elanga over Martial in the left.
I think Elanga's injured at the moment as well. I'd like to see Elanga first, so maybe in the cup games like the Carabao Cup and the FA Cup, and just see on how he gets on there.
Yeah, he's got hunger and he would do well, much better than what we got.
Yeah.
Then you could put I don't get why you not put Jadon Sancho and put on the right and then put Martial up front. Put Greenwood up front side.
Yeah,
well, that's how he should have started.
Yeah, I would personally give Mason Greenwood an 8. It's not his fault that he has been put on the right wing, and because, like you say, the striker position, that is his role, and he's like one of them rare kind of strikers. He can score with both his feet. Like, he's not like he's a right-footed striker or a left-footed striker. He can shoot with both his feet just as good as each other. I really like Mason Greenwood, and he does have that potential to be honestly a world-class player in the future. He has that ability. I really like Mason Greenwood, 100%. I'd like to see how he does get on this season. I do feel like it's going to be his breakaway season. I think him and Cavani should rotate it, because I know Cavani at his age is not going to be able to play every single game. So it'd be good to see Mason Greenwood have maybe, say, 40% of the games and Cavani does 60%.
The thing here now is, mate, as well, that all in all, right? So Martial has not earned the right to play in the next game.
No.
That was Fred, right? They've not earned
No way.
Mason Greenwood has now got to be knocking on that manager's door in a hypothetical sense and be saying, look, I'm the man here. If Cavani isn't available, I'm the man. You need to. And all he's got to put Mason Greenwood up front, put Jadon Sancho on the right, you know, put Donny van der Beek in the middle. Listen, I said it at the end of last season. We've got to stop now thinking about protecting our goal. We've got to start thinking, if we've got any chance of trying to win this league, we've got to take Liverpool's approach, which I've banted on about for months on months, which is the numbers game, which is quite clear. If you watch any of Liverpool's games, they play the numbers game. Chances created to converted. Liverpool's is very high. Ours could be very high because we've got the forward players to do that conversion. So we have to stop being too conservative, worrying about what's going on behind us, especially when we put Varane in there, right? And just go, let's have it. Let us fucking have it. We're going to just pour it on you. If you score, we don't care. We will score more than you. This is the attitude all it has to now adapt, in my opinion, because if it doesn't, then I don't care about any kind of contracts and all the rest of it. If by like Christmas time or just after, we are, in a pretty crappy position, well off the pace for the title. That's for me. That's it. It's time for him to accept that he's failed and it's time to go. Simple.
Yeah.
Yeah, I completely 100% agree.
Yeah,
and I have said plenty of times that Martial, we need to look at selling him in this window, because if we wait until the next summer window, we're not going to get anything for him. He needs to go in this window. I'd honestly sell him. He needs to go.
Take a loss on him if you have to. Just get shut. Get shut, because you know what? If you deprive yourself of that quandary and that luxury of wondering, because like I said, Ollie, you can get comfortable with that kind of defensive-minded setup, and then going, I can play Martial front because he got a few goals in this season, he got a few goals in that season. No. If you really want to test yourself, Ollie, you've got to get rid of these quandaries and make it a quite clear cut. That's your team. You get to play it like that.
He's got to be ruthless, really, isn't he? He's got to be ruthless.
Exactly, Tony. You've got to be ruthless. Like I said, Alex Ferguson. You having a laugh? Fred and Martial would be now out in the car park sweeping up.
He wouldn't have had it, would he? Fergie, would he?
Exactly. That was I was talking about earlier.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You can't, and it's not acceptable for us as fans. At the end of the day, we're the fans, and we buy the shirts and everything. And just while I remember, I thought the kit today was absolutely marvellous. That was the best thing about today's performance, was the kit. It looked great.
Yeah.
I love
it. Cool,
it's really cool kit, man. I love it.
Yeah.
I just don't like the yellow shorts. I think it would have looked better with black shorts.
Yeah, probably.
No.
Or white? What about white?
Nah, yellow, man. I think it looks. I like yellow, though. I like yellow. It's one of my favourite colours.
Yeah.
But, so sorry.
Yeah.
I don't like yellow because of Federal.
I can't believe it. I mean, oh God, now this is where I'm really going to lose my shit now. Is what Lingard? What the fuck? What happened there?
He weren't fit, was he? Yeah, COVID. Well,
what's happening?
Lingard. We're supposed to be selling him. You know what I mean? We're supposed to be. Is that Jordan? Yo, Jordan, man, I forgot you was there, bro. Right? Lingard, we're supposed to be selling him, and he bring it up like, oh my, are you really like you've lost the plot, Ollie, man? You've totally lost the plot. Don't tell me you're putting him out there to put him back in the shop window. It's like, oh, look at this player that we've got. He's not bad. You know what I mean? And he offers welcome. It's like, oh man alive, but you really, you've had a poor show today, mate.
Yeah, we'll go to our last player, which I think everyone is going to rate very lowly for the starting 11, and that was Martial. We'll go for you first, Talk. What would you rate Martial?
Just got to put him in with Fred FC. Goes in with Fred FC. Honestly, talk about wouldn't get on the coach. Mate, they wouldn't even get
I agree with that. I agree.
Talk, you got to do it, man. You got to do it. No, put him on solo. You got to do it. You got to do it. Come on. Look, I'll even take this off and I'll get you to share. Come on, do it. Go on.
No.
Come on.
They wouldn't get in the coach. They wouldn't get in the coach. They wouldn't get in the coach there. Martial and Fred. They wouldn't get in the coach. They wouldn't even get the bus fare home, mate. You are in fact, you're not walking, you're going to run. You're going to run all the way home next to the coach, and we're going to go slow enough so we can all give you the V's out of the windows and the wanker sign, right? And saying you're
the moon out the window.
Why are you at this club? You shit, right? That might wake you up or make you realise that you've got to put in more. You've got to put in more. If you want to play for this great club, you cannot be turning up and putting in performances like that.
I'm sorry, that Roy Keane impression's quite out.
Roy Keane.
Yeah, for me, I'll say Martial to David Beckham or Gary Neville. They have more use of him.
What would you rate Martial, Jordan? You still there, Jordan?
I think he has problems with his internet.
Yeah. It's okay.
He's got trouble there. Yeah.
What would you rate him then, Tony?
I'm going with Talk in the bin. Fred FC, I think.
That's lower than the
bin. What would you rate him as well, Stephen?
There you go. Oh, that one.
Yeah, just put him there. He's definitely our worst player. I literally felt like I wanted to scratch my eyeballs out watching Martial today. That's how I genuinely felt. And like I say, anyone who does have me on Twitter will see what I did say about Martial. It was absolutely awful. Like, I lost my patience with him in the middle of last season, and seeing that he was on that lineup today, I thought, what are you doing putting this player on?
And you know what, as well, talking about it's just like when I was saying about growing a pair and being ruthless. You've got to think about that. Jadon Sancho and Rafael Varane coming to the club, and any potential signings that you wanted to bring in, all he has to give them something. He has to give them something that makes himself look like, whoa, shit. You know, I ain't fucking about with this. I ain't fucking about with this guy. You know what I mean? He means business. He means business. So if he hasn't like singled them two out in that changing room afterwards and give them such a bollocking, right, and gone off at them, and he makes them like do other things in training away from the team as a punishment, and then tells the rest of the team, this is not good. Like, this is not good enough. This is not why you are at this club, right? Then again, he's not the man for the job, because you've got to be ruthless.
Exactly.
Because you've got to have players like we know players are scared of Ferguson, right? But they also at the same time had so much respect for him because they know he's a winner. And if Ollie wants to get anywhere near that kind of status, he has to start now by the first thing is because he's not won anything yet with us. His first place to start now is being ruthless.
Yep. I don't think he can, though. I don't think he can.
I don't think he has that backbone. He doesn't have that backbone in him.
Well, he might as well step aside now, mate. If he has not got that ruthless streak, he may as well step aside now, because it is otherwise going to be a slow, painful season of us again pulling our hair out, having a good performance here against a team that affords you the space to play without really pressing you. All the fans be like, "Yeah, we're back, we're brilliant with this and with that." Then we come up against a team who go, "No, we ain't going to make this easy for you. We're in your face," because they know you get in at Man United's face, they don't like it. You have to make you force us into decisions, because we haven't got the ability under this manager, like I said before, to play the ball in front of them. In other words, if you're on the ball, you're going to have to chase the ball. Don't chase the ball. Don't be coming to me because I've not got the ball anymore. So you're wasting your time. And also, once I've break this ball off, I'm just going to run behind you. So where are you then? You're left in no man's land. We ain't doing that. And it seems to me that Ollie cannot get the team to play that kind of football. Pep Guardiola. This is what Pep Guardiola. You look at Manchester City. They move the ball and they move quick. Boom, bang, in the pockets, in the space.
Yeah, they do.
Pull teams apart. That's how they keep the possession of the ball so much. It pisses me off.
We'll see what everybody else has said anyway in terms of the ratings in the comments, see what everybody else thinks. Reese said Pogba everywhere and he'd give a 7. Match reviewer said Pogba 6. Box has also said a Pogba 6. Nathan has said Pogba 8. He thought Pogba was the best player on the pitch.
Pogba was shine big time.
Michael has said Pogba had a really good game. I'll give him an 8. Okay, yeah, it was an overall poor team performance. It cannot happen again, and I do agree with that. That's not Manchester United. Manchester United is about securing them 3 points, winning trophies. It's just when you see performances like this, you just think, wow. Like if, for example, we actually tried and we failed, I'd actually wouldn't feel nowhere near as bad. But knowing that we played so poorly and we picked up 1 point, you just think this is just a terrible game. I was lucky to even get that 1 point, but Southampton was all over us.
But you know what? As well, before the game started, I said, listen, in this game here, we're probably going to get outdone in the midfield, even though they only had 2 most of the time in their midfield. So we're going to get outdone here because of with Matic and Fred, because Matic will be deeper. So we're going to get outdone in the midfield, and we need to push the ball wide. We've got to get this ball wide. And it wasn't until near the end we started to realise that we had to do that. And it's like, no, it's too late now, mate. Far too late.
Is it Wolves you got next, isn't it? Wolves.
Yeah, Wolves. Next Sunday we've got. Sunday, Wolves.
You should be beating them as well, really, because they're not the Wolves of our season, are they? Without Nuno, so.
No, but again, Tony, I think they're not going to make it easy. They're not going to. Because there's a pattern progressing here. New managers especially.
Well, Spuds beat them, didn't they? Spuds beat them today. So.
And they're a very defensive team. Wolves is very hard to break down on their good day.
Well, anyway, we'll see what team he puts out before we comment on that one.
Of course. Reese thinks Greenwood should have been a 7. Match review said Greenwood 6. Reese said as good as Greenwood and Pogba were, the only man of the match is David De Gea. I do think David De Gea did have a really good game, and it was a shame that goal did go in, but it was a bad goal to concede, really, wasn't it?
Well, it was Fred. Fred.
Yeah, it was Fred. It was a mistake.
He stuck his foot out. It's like, wait a minute. What are you doing? What are you doing? He should have been across that player sharpish. He should have been reading that. He should have been reading that situation and been right across in front of that player. But no, he just half-heartedly sticks his foot out. It's a joke.
Well, that wouldn't have gone in if he hadn't done that, would it? It was
no, because it wasn't on target from Shea Adams. It wasn't even on target. Michael thought that Greenwood was a 6. He scored a goal, but he's not a winger. I understand he's not a winger, but it's not really his fault where Ollie puts him either.
It couldn't be on target because otherwise it would count as an own goal.
Yeah. Martial might be a 0. Terrible performance from him. I wouldn't even give Martial a rating.
Yeah,
Well, he's at
exactly.
the very bottom of the panel anyway. Let's just say that. I just want to say big up as well here to RCB and Chelsea Fan TV.
Yeah, big up Chelsea fan.
Everyone here, go and subscribe to him. He does really good Chelsea content. I really enjoy watching it. Defo subscribe. So we'll go to our subs. So let's start with Sancho. What would you rate Sancho, Jason?
Sancho, I'll say about 5.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he came on and he won't really see much. He had a few nice touches on the ball, but nothing too exciting.
Usually when a sub comes on and does nothing, I count that as a 6, a bang average.
Mm-hmm. What would you, Tony?
Well, I think if you come on as a sub, you ain't really got a chance to do a lot. And at times he does nice touches. I would say about 5, really.
What would you say, Talk?
I mean, I've got to give him credit for trying, but you know what? You're bringing in a player who's played a blinding couple of seasons at Dortmund on the right wing, and you decide you're going to bring him on, put him on the left. Again, failures from Ole. It's all wrong. The whole balance of everything he's trying to do is wrong. He gets the balance wrong 99.9% of the time. But for Sancho, I'm going to give him a 7 just for pure willingness to try and make things happen. It can't be easy going into that frame.
I would personally
start. Sorry, Maisie.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You go first.
No, I was just going to say, I think he's got to start a game to really see what he can do. Start a game. So,
I agree.
Yeah.
Sorry, go on, Maisie.
I was going to say that I'd personally give Sancho a 6 because when he did come on, he did try to make that impact with them couple of touches trying to get into the box, but it just didn't really work out for him because Southampton was just being quite defensive, wasn't there? Match reviewer did ask for you as well, Stephen, if you're free tomorrow at 7:45.
7:45 for what? For what? To go on the channel? Possibly, maybe if I'm free, I'll have to let you know. I'll message you.
Okay, great. We'll go with the next sub, McTominay. What would you rate McTominay, Talk, out of 10?
Scotty Mac. Let me just rewind my memory back because by this point I was like fuming. I
thought you were going to say eating. I thought you were going to say eating again.
I think, it's got to be like a 4 or a 5.
You can tell he's fuming. You'll be in the fridge later eating everything.
They didn't
comfort eating.
He didn't actually do anything so I can remember. So, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which is
what would you rate Tony out of 10?
I actually thought, one thing he done was that brilliant cross, but nobody was there. Did you see that one where he put it over?
I remember that, yeah.
And I thought, well, why isn't anyone in there? And everyone's moaning at him. And I thought, fuck's sake, he put in a great cross. Where the fuck are you? Sorry for swearing.
But that's the thing there as well, Tony. The thing with that is, for me, if you look at the times, you go back like last season and do the same this season when you're halfway through. Go back and look at every time a cross is put in to the box when there's nobody there, and look what the most of 99% of the time end result is that you give the ball back to the opposition.
That's right.
And they counter from there. It's a very dodgy thing to do. You're putting a blind pass. It's all right saying it was a great cross, but if you're not looking to identify there's nobody there to get in this cross, why put the fucking ball in the first place? You're wasting it. Recycle it. Look, have a quick look. There's no one there. Right, look, what's my second option here? Is anybody pressing me? No. Okay, I'm going to hold on to the ball a minute. Look, wait for somebody to make a run. Then I'll put the ball in. Dan James was guilty of that all the time. Just blindly running down the wing, like the Welsh flash, as we call him. And then bang, there's no the opposition are like, well, hey, cheers, mate. Thanks for that. You've got possession. You don't do it. It's, So, I mean, what you're saying, yeah, it was a good, he's touched it well, the ball, but at the end of the day, it's not come to anything, and it's probably ended up, I can't remember, but it probably ended up in them getting possession of the ball.
Yeah.
So it's a negative against us in the terms of our stats.
Yeah. Anyway, Maisie, I'll give him a 5, I think.
Yeah.
Give him a 5.
What would you, Jason, what would you rate McTominay?
Yeah, he did do pretty much since he came on set from that cross, so I'll say 5.
And you, Stephen, what would you rate McTominay?
I'd give a standard 6. Didn't really impact the game too much. Tried a little bit, but it didn't come off. So 6.
I would personally give McTominay a 5. It just seemed like, apart from that cross where no one was there, and that kind of cross, you kind of miss Cavani. For him, you want a Cavani on that pitch. Yeah, he would have 100% been there. But apart from that, he just seemed to have faded in the background. He didn't really do anything for me. He wasn't really an impactful sub. I was there thinking, why is McTominay coming on? Why are you not putting Donny on?
Yeah.
I want Donny.
Yeah. Well, even Matter, do you think he's finished yet, Matter, or not? Do you think he's over the top? Or?
No, Matter's still got a role for me in this season, especially in the cup games or in games where, really, like today, we should have really, if Ollie would have got the selection right today, that would have been a perfect opportunity at sort of like 70 minutes. Be like, right, rest, take you off. Well done, job's done, boys. Right, now bring on your likes of Matter, everyone else to keep them kind of, keep their legs going, get them ready for when we go into the cup runs, etc. But so I do believe he has got a role for me, Matter, just because he's such an intelligent baller.
I do really like Matter as well. I quite like him as a player. I would like to. I like him and Donny together when they play together in the cup games too. So I do feel like Matter still does have that role for me, but I feel like maybe he might have signed that contract extension more for his like coaching qualifications as well. That might be a reason why. Because from what I heard, he was looking at going into coaching, so that might be why he did sign an extension with us. We'll go to our last sub, which was Lingard. Stephen, what would you rate Lingard out of 10?
I'm gonna give a 5. Didn't really do anything, did he? For me.
What would you talk? What would you rate Lingard?
I'm not even going to rate him because he shouldn't even be at the club.
That's a bit harsh, isn't it?
Shouldn't even be at the club. We're making moves here to put a player out on loan to try and sell it.
That's not his fault, is it? Come on.
No, it's not his fault. But at the end of the day, he's never really been good enough. He's never been really good enough. That's why we sent him to fucking West Ham. He's not good enough. So why do you bring
Arsenal keeping Belling and bloody Xhaka, isn't it?
Exactly.
They're not good enough.
Why do you bring him back? And then in the second game of the season, when we need to try and get a win, you then decide, I'm going to pick you now. It's just, listen, if I'd have said to you before the start of the season, right, we're going to bring him back, Lingard, and we're going to bring him on as a sub to try and get us the goal. You'd have all just like fell over laughing. Laughing. But that's exactly what's happened today. I
thought he was going to West Ham. I thought that's what he was going to do.
Well, exactly. But if you take a step back and look at this today, I'll look at it, right? Some Man United fans are going to be in denial. But just take a step back and have a look at what happened today, the decisions that were made. We are in my opinion, we're in a fucking terrible position right now, because from the way I read it, it's coming quite clear that Ollie is just winging it. He's winging it. Yeah. He's winging it big time, and he's putting a player on like that who you add out on a loan, who we quite clearly want to sell because we've said we want to sell him, right? And bringing him on when you've got a player we paid 40 million for, we brought in.
Yeah.
We brought Van der Beek in.
Why aren't you playing him?
And also Sancho.
And Sancho, yeah. So, make changes, shift the team about, and do what you've got to do just to get Van der Beek on. Don't be making the easy choice and just going, Lingard can just pop in there. That's what it looked like to me, which is very, very
He's
worrying.
a bit clueless, really.
It is.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I think though that they probably won't even sell Lingard until January, especially now with Rashford being injured out on injury as well.
Yeah.
They probably think, oh, we'll have him as that bit of security just in case we get a few more injuries in that role. So we got Lingard there, but he's
When's
not
he
really
coming
needed.
back? Rashford. Sorry, mate.
October,
When's Rashford?
October,
Sorry, what?
I think. October.
Sorry about that. October. Oh, October. Right. Sorry to
No, it's
interrupt
okay.
you. Sorry.
You're not interrupting. It's okay.
Yeah.
Whilst I've still got you
Yeah.
though, Tony, what would you rate Lingard from today's performance?
Not a lot, because I mean he didn't do much, did he, when he come on? So probably about 2, something like that. 2.
And what would you, Jason? What would you rate Lingard?
0. He's just came back from COVID. He just came back from COVID. He shouldn't be playing at all.
I was being too generous, wasn't I?
Yeah.
Again, having COVID is not his fault.
Yeah. With Lingard, he only came on for the last 5 minutes, isn't it? So, you just put him. I personally just put him as a 5, just because he just come on for 5 minutes. He couldn't do anything about it really for 5 minutes, could he?
That's what I say.
Yeah, put him as a 5 for now. See what everybody else says in the comments too. So let's see whatever. So we did see from Reese that he thought everyone got every sub should have got a 5 from what I remember. And we will, yeah.
You've also got an option there for the manager and also the fans as well. You can rate as well if you want.
Yeah, I was gonna rate Ollie at the end anyway. So we'll start. We'll do Ollie after checking the comments out.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah. So So we got here as well. Chris in the chat. Thanks, Chris, for tuning in, and everyone tune in to Leicester Till I Die TV. He does really good Liverpool content as well. Not Liverpool, Leicester content.
He won't like you for that, mate.
Big up Southampton.
Big up. Shocking news. Chris from Till I Die TV is now a Scouser.
It's called Liverpool Till I Die TV.
Yeah, Chris, you join the Reds, mate. You join them.
I think everybody here has not really said what they rate the subs, so that's okay. So we'll just do for the manager, Ollie. What would you rate Ollie out of 10, Jason?
Today, poor decision making, picked the wrong lineup. I'll say 0.
Okay. And what would you, Stephen?
0. No, sorry. I'm thinking of Arteta. Sorry.
You could get the same for both of them, really.
Extremely, very poor by Ollie. I'd say 2, and that's being generous.
What would you, Tony?
A big fat 0. That's what I'm going with. Like Jason said, big fat 0.
What would you rate Ollie?
Yeah, same. 0.
You all think 0?
Yeah.
Amazing.
You can't put that team out. You can't put that team out like that.
No.
Then make the changes that you've made. Without, I mean, I don't get it. It's absolutely mind-boggling.
Yeah, we'll put him as a 0 then. Put him as a 0.
This is what I have to go through every game. Do you
I know, mate. Oh, you know what? I was watching the Arsenal Chelsea game, and there was some moments in that game where I was watching Arsenal and I was thinking, bloody hell. You know what? I thought actually they played some really good football at times, but not enough.
I'm just going to repeat the statistic I said before we started this stream. Right, it's the first time in history that Arsenal have scored no points and no goals after their first 2 games.
Well, it's time for them to go in it.
That is the first time in their history.
It's time for him to go. It's quite clear that he's not learned anything from the mistakes of last season.
What did I say?
For me,
he don't want to learn, does he? He's just arrogant. He don't give a shit.
Ollie needs to take note because Ollie is on the same path. if he, you know what, I saw me saying about him being comfortable in his role and his, he might have time and all the rest of it. But however,
I told you
board
so.
may have other ideas.
Steve's got his shades on. The Don.
Will have other
The Don
ideas.
Featley.
I personally thought the 0 was a bit harsh on Ollie, but if you all think a 0, we'll just go for that then.
I was being generous at 2, but okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, 0. He's in the trash bin.
Zilch nada.
So we'll leave that for now then. I don't exactly want to rate the fans because some Twitter fans really do annoy me, so I'm not rating the fans.
What about do the fans at the stadium then? That's what you usually do.
Okay.
Rate him for turning up, at least.
What would you rate the fans then, Jason?
I don't know really. About 6 today. That's being generous.
Did they make a lot of noise? Did they make enough noise, do you think?
Were they behind the team?
No.
And what would you rate Steve and the fans?
I do think they were behind the team for like the whole 90 minutes, from what I heard. So I'd say about a 7 or 8, something like that.
And what about you, Tony?
Yeah, I'll go same as Stephen with that. I think you could hear him most of the time. So, yeah.
And you talk?
The fans, I'll give them a 10 because they've made the effort to get there, and they've had to put up with that, like sit there in the stands watching it. So
yeah,
give him a. I agree there, talk. Give him a 10. And you could hear him singing Ollie, and like all the chants. They was trying to boost the team's like obviously trying to boost the team up. So I agree with you there, talk. And I'd also give a 10.
There we go.
Yes, so that is all the ratings then. Let me know, everybody, in the comments too on which you did prefer, if that was the man like the player ratings, or if you prefer like last week where we did like questions about the game. Like if you wasn't too sure and you didn't tune into the last one, have a look at the Man United versus Leeds match reaction. And if you prefer it like that, let me know. Or if you prefer player ratings, let me know. Or if you prefer a mixture of both, we'll look at what we can do, see what everybody prefers. What are you all thinking? What would you all prefer in the panel here today?
I'll say a bit of both.
I think a bit of both.
Yeah, I think that's good. You're doing well anyway. Yeah.
I think.
Thank you.
I think either way they've been very good. I would say sometimes having a mixture of both is good. So if you have one half of it, it's like the review of the game, and then like the last part of it is just like you do your player ratings and you just like assign one person each player and get them to do their own personal rating that player and then move on, because then that way it's not
Steven's
so
right.
long.
Yeah.
Because I think that one took a little bit. I'd say that one took a little bit of time. So if you did it that way, then that way you've got time to also talk about the game as well.
What do you prefer, talk?
So sorry, I didn't even hear what you said.
Would you prefer like player ratings or just the questions, or would you prefer both? What would you prefer?
Oh yeah, you gotta go both. You gotta, if you're gonna do a match review, you're gonna talk about, because like I did. Let's have it right. When I watch Match of the Day, I sit there and I go, right, look, I want them to talk about this and I want them to talk about that, and they never do. They only talk about like the things that they want to pick out and quickly talk about. It's so frustrating because you're going, wait a minute, why don't you talk about this or why don't you talk about that? So this is your opportunity and our opportunity as guests to cover everything about the game, because there's no time limit. There's no, unless you push for time yourself, then there's no time limit.
Yeah.
You can have a really good old debate and a chinwag about all the incidents of the game, that this, like, who's been picked, who should have been picked, and everything else, and it makes it a really enjoyable, and you feel satisfied, and you feel like you've actually got your point across, and you've made your point clear. And so for me, you know what, just keep doing what you're doing. Give people the opportunity to say whatever it is they want to say, and yeah, it's sweet.
Great. Yes, so Chris said about myself, I thought you'd been to the hairdressers. I have been to the hairdressers and I am blonde now. If you see my pictures on Twitter, Chris, I am a brown. I've got brown hair. I've got blonde hair now. I'm blonde now.
Yeah.
Tell you what, Chris.
I thought you could do a Pogba, Maisie. I thought you could do a Pogba hairstyle. Have colours in
I
it.
was
like
thinking to. I was
blue
thinking
and
to
white
put a
and-
bit of blue hair, put a bit of white
I think
hair.
Chris
but-
is definitely. Have you got a black eye, Chris? Or am I thinking of tomorrow when Mason?
I love that one, man. I love that. that goes with the tongue in the arse and the teeth, isn't it? You got talking out your arse.
I was watching the other night, and I can't remember what it was, but I was sat there watching, and I wanted to come on, but I just didn't feel up to it. But anyway, I was sat watching, and I was sat laughing. I was sat on my own, just laughing because you said something about something, and then you went, no, it's this one. You played one of the clips, and then you played the one after it.
Yeah, and I played all of it. I played all of it, didn't I? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And
I thought I knew that cheer you up a bit.
Yeah, I did. I thought, oh man, did I actually say that? And I did, didn't I? But that's only because Luca was really annoying me. I think. Absolute crap.
He couldn't work out. He said Andre Silva's shit. So he said, I don't know what strikers do that. Let me look up some strikers. Right? I'm like, you're talking out your ass.
Literally, I'm like, I swear, I don't even know where that came from about the tongue and the teeth, but it's just like a vision in my head. Popped in. And, fuck knows what I've been watching.
If that appears in your head, I don't know what. I don't know what.
I know, yeah.
That's what you think about it.
By the way, sorry to go onto another subject, but has anyone seen that Messi's thinking of leaving already? Was to leave PSG? Has anyone seen that?
What's going on?
Messi wants to leave PSG already. He wants
and
to
where
leave.
does he want to go? Go back to Barcelona? What does he want to do?
I don't know. He just said he don't want to be. He's already there. Like how long has he been there? I don't know how many days or whatever he's been there, but he don't want to be there anymore.
Tony, that's all right. Listen, you're so right. You know what? I thought all this was all happened far too quick for a player.
Yeah.
Been at that club for so long, and he's the talisman of the club. He's like the god. And then for him to I think a lot of this happened without him actually being in a sound sense of mind. I really believe that his agent, his father, were just seeing pound signs, and then Reece have come along. Reece, I mean Paris. Paris have come along. Like 35, they're going like we're getting 35 million over 3 seasons a season. That's like whatever that is, like 100 odd million quid over 3 years. His dad's like, oh yeah. His agent's like, oh yeah, I'll have some of that. And then poor Messi. I've seen a lot of people slating him, saying that the crocodile tears and all the rest of it, but that's bullshit. He was genuinely upset, and I believe that he's, it all happened far too quick for him, and I wouldn't be surprised if he has had a moment and thought, wait a minute, what am I even doing here? I don't even want to be at this club. Talking about money, money's not everything. He's still got the potential to go to another club. Especially
I thought City would have got him, wouldn't you? I thought they would have gone for him,
I'll just say this: it's a bit funny now, isn't it? Though the Kane thing has gone quiet, right? Now, if this rumor has come out with Messi saying he doesn't want to be there, what's the betting that it turns out that Messi's now signs for City instead?
Nah.
You never know.
No, that's not.
You don't know. You don't know what. You don't listen because there's always a cooling off period. You're not just going to go sign a contract straight in the back like that. There's a cooling off period that will be for Messi as well. There'll be a cooling off period where he can change his mind up to a certain amount of time. He's not just going to tie himself into that straight off the bat like that without any kind of option to get just have a little think. If something changes, blah blah blah.
I've never heard of that before in a player contract though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, there will be a cooling off period. It's like if you're going to sell your house, for example, on an estate agent, you sign a contract, but then there's a 14-day cooling off period, which means within 2 weeks, if you say, "Nah, you know what, I've changed my mind," then you're not tied to the contract, even though you've signed it. You go after a day after that 14 days and say, I want to change my mind. They'll charge you whatever, because they'll say, no, you signed it in the contract now. There will be a cooling off period in there somewhere, surely.
Yeah,
Wait and see.
100%. Yeah, so I'm going to wrap it up here now anyway. I'll be back tomorrow at 8:30 because I'm going to do a season preview for the Manchester United women's team. So if anyone does like Manchester United women and likes women's Super League, definitely tune in. We'll be talking about that. And then I'll be back again at Friday. It will be a match preview this time, not a match reaction to Man United versus Wolves, just because I'm away next weekend. So I just thought I'd do a preview instead. So both will be both at 8:30. So definitely tune in. And for this video, like and subscribe. And thank you all for coming on for today. And everybody in the live chat too. Thank you for coming in, saying your views. I really enjoyed everybody coming on. And where can we find you all, starting from Jason? Where can we find you?
You can find me on Twitter under JasonG2701.
And Stephen, where can we find you?
You can find me on SVP TV. You can find me Devils United TV, Devils United as well. Football United TV. But yeah, SVP TV tomorrow. We've got the match reaction to the Chelsea game. It's gonna be fun.
Should be interesting.
Then we got. Oh no, it's gonna be interesting. I'm just gonna sit. Look, I'm already prepared, mate. I am just gonna be sitting here in my shades, going like this. I told you so. I told you.
He's gonna be sitting there waving the Lukaku shirt, be like, I wish this is my real London team now.
Right, and also telling all the fans that didn't protest, you deserve everything you get. So, but yeah, tune in for that. Then also make sure you subscribe here as well. So,
Talk. Where can we find you?
Yeah,
in the fridge.
In the fridge, bearing his
Actually, the fridge. You know what? The fridge has been like. I've not really been in that sort of fridge that much just lately, but on Twitter, I talk MU, Stephen's channel, maybe again on this channel if Maisie invites me on.
I'd love to have you on.
The Man United Agenda, Football United TV, Rich Sports, Red United TV, blah blah blah.
Yeah, give me your support, people. Support talk. Brilliant.
Yeah, no, it's good. But I like to have me get me old gums flapping, shall we say? I like to flap my gums. That's what I call talk.
Stephen, nice one, mate.
Yeah,
where can we find you, Tony?
I want to find
just on these streams, annoying the shit out of people, basically, like on this one and Stevens and all that, and then I'm also on Twitter, King Tony one on Twitter. I'm sort of trying to sort my own show out at some stage. So I'll send you some info about that at some stage, like Stephen and you, Macy, and all that, and hopefully you can help me maybe at some stage with it and everything. Come on it.
Love to.
Yeah, when I get it sorted, I'll let you know. Okay.
Great. And what was you going to say, Talk, before I wrap up?
Yeah, go on, Talk.
I forgot now. Oh yeah. No, just thanks for all the support you've shown me. With the messages and that, it does mean a lot to me. And yeah, just wanted to say thanks.
So, mate, you're, as like I said time and time before on every talk stream I go on, you're my bro. Right, we're like the closest sort of friendship you can get, right? And you always will be, right? And that's
we got your back, mate. Sure, we got your back. You know,
it's never going to change.
Oh, mate, Stephen, I know that. And yeah, if I haven't been responding or whatever, it's just, yeah, as you can imagine, it's just,
Yeah.
You know, totally is like, you just don't want to do anything. You just want to don't even want to do anything at all. Don't want to do anything. You know,
It's fine. Man. It's understandable.
You've got all our support, mate. It's all right.
No, yeah, listen, like I say, I appreciate it, and it's just a case of me now then getting the energy back to just think, you know what, all right, I want to jump on. I wasn't sure if I was going to jump on, but I just thought, go on, I'll jump on, and I'm glad I did now, actually, because...
Yeah, you're absolutely welcome anytime, Talk.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that, Mace, you know that.
Yeah, you're welcome here anytime, and that same goes to everybody here on the panel today. You're all welcome here anytime. Anyone who on the live chat, whoever does want to come on, you're more than welcome to come on also.
Thanks, Maisie. It's great being on your show, by the way. You're awesome again. Brilliant.
Thanks very much.
I remember having the conversation with Maisie. Do you remember, Maisie?
What conversation is that?
You know which conversation that is.
All right.
You remember?
Yeah.
About the channel?
Yeah, I remember.
What I said is absolutely 100% bang on. So you just keep doing what you're doing, chick, because you are good at it. You know what you're talking about, and you will. You know what? You'll push this channel. You will push this channel far. So just keep doing your thing, girl. Simple, innit?
Thanks for that. Thank you for everyone for all showing your love, and I'll see you all back again at 8:30 tomorrow for the preview of the Manchester United women. Until then, though, it'll be at 8:30, just so I just say it again for you all. 8:30 tomorrow for the Manchester United women. But until then, everyone take care.
Bye, everyone. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.